always my dream job as a kid, working in a library, and I loved the lifelong learning aspect and the one-on-one interactions that you get to make and the relationships you get to build. And as I was exploring library sciences and library as a career field, it was just clear to me that community outreach was exactly where I wanted to be.
I had opened the Burlington Public Library after the pandemic closures and wanted to bring that skill set to the Iowa City community. But then I was also told that there was a bookmobile in the Community and Access Services Department, and I was absolutely thrilled to be taking materials out to the community where they organically live and exist and thrive, because that's how you're welcome, right? You eliminate barriers to access.
Libraries are vital parts of our community. We need them, they're treasures, they make literature and arts and the people who make literature, who create literature, accessible for free. It's like the best use of our tax dollars that I can think of.
I mean, I think that we are in a very unique situation here and in a unique setting. I do think that libraries are beloved across the country and across the globe, and I think that they hold a special place in a lot of people's hearts, but I think that it's just even more unique and exciting here with our love for literature.
We are a hyper-busy society, and the opportunity for several of us that were lucky or privileged to slow down and really remember our love for literacy, our love for world discovery, our love for hearing perspectives and stories outside of our own was renewed. But then I think that we've also had a deeper appreciation for outreach services, bookmobile, book bike, pop-ups, because we recognize the fact that the library is not just a brick and mortar institution. Obviously in the digital world, it's been living in your pocket through apps for several years, but that community, that connection, that piece was really lost during the pandemic closures, and I think there's a renewed vigor to be in community and part of it and together again.
These are really kind of democratizing spaces of knowledge, information, and future possibility, right? You know, they're safe places for people to just kind of be quiet. And I remember being a kid and realizing, you know, that I could take 10 books out, you know, and if you're a reader or you're a lover of books, you know, that feeling of magic never goes away. Like, I still have it.
Great, I got one more. Spencer. Are we looking for interlibrary loan?
Oh yes, I didn't even notice there was a seat there.
Knowing that has become renewed. I think that folks relied on their libraries quite a lot for their sanity and their safety and their security and also knowledge sharing. And we always do in times of crisis. To reach out to the community around the world to let folks know you're okay, you often rely on your library. And so I think we see that with the bookmobile, but I think there's a renewed vigor for this in recognizing that libraries are community anchor institutions, particularly in times of need and crisis throughout the nation.
You think about a bookmobile, it's kind of like a moving target, right? It's great. It's, you know, a way that, you know, bookmobiles bring books to people, you know, where they are. And, you know, we're in a really terrifying time of the, not just misinformation, but the kind of disappearing of information, the lack of access to books, you know, determining for people what they can and can't read. And destroying those books, you know, it's horrifying.
You have some patrons who are kind of feeling inspired by the media coverage of this topic, and they're looking to read these books that are getting kind of some commentary, and they're looking to explore these topics that has been of note lately. And so that's been really exciting to see people just really inspired and wanting to learn.
Sure. How many more chances do I have? It'll be on.
The community loves their bookmobile. I will never probably experience a shift where somebody doesn't tell us they love us and appreciate us. And I recognize that. They love and appreciate the downtown library too. But what we're doing with the bookmobile is meeting people where they're at. We're coming to you in your community and asking you to be a member of your community, to be together and to gather. And I think that intentionality has a different place in the heart of our patrons, and it's seen and observed a little bit more readily, and so they will often remark on that in ways that you don't see downtown.
Our community is so diverse and has so many different needs and so many different interests, and so I just really love getting to know people, and I'm always learning how to serve everyone in these different unique ways, and it's really joyful for me.